The world of digital marketing moves at a dizzying speed. Strategies, budgets, tactics, buzzwords. How can we even begin to distinguish the signal from the noise, the good moves from the bad? Take it from the team that's tripped as much as we've triumphed. We're putting our best moves in the spotlight and spilling every secret to give you step-by-step instructions to steal for your own success and digitally scale your business. This is Marketing Moves.
Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Moves. I'm your host, Ashtyn Morris, Senior Account Executive and Strategic Partnerships Lead at Vivid Front. Today, I'm joined by Tony Pietrocola, co-founder and president of AgileBlue. Tony has spent more than 2 decades building and scaling technology companies, from working as an Apple system engineer to leading one of Ohio's fastest-growing cybersecurity companies. Today, we're talking leadership, AI, cybersecurity, building trust in B2B SaaS, and where the industry is headed next. Tony, welcome to Marketing Moves.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited for today's conversation. Before we dive into AgileBlue, I want to give our listeners a proper introduction to you.
Okay.
You actually started your tech journey back in 1997 as an Apple systems engineer before embracing serial entrepreneurship. Can you talk about that journey and how it influenced your path to now?
Wow. Why, thank you for dating me to start the podcast.
You have to set the tone.
Yeah, set this tone. 1997, a long time ago. You know what's interesting about that? Apple's cool now, right? You got an iPhone, you got everything else, you got the watch, you got it all, right? Back then, we weren't cool. We were actually 90 days from going out of business, believe it or not. When Steve Jobs came back, 90 days of money left in the bank. Think about that. So I think what that taught me moving forward is no matter how bad things may look, if you do have that vision, if you do understand how it's going to go, you can create something fantastic. And obviously, look at what Apple became after all those years, right? No, I think that's the main lesson. I'll take that away.
That's amazing. So when did you start transitioning out of Apple into some of these other endeavors?
Yeah, I started my first company back here in Cleveland. So moved back in 2001. We started a company called 10th Floor. We built websites because back then, websites were like, hey, the kind of happening thing, right?
Yeah.
I think the internet thing might really catch on. So we built websites, built this content management e-commerce platform so people can sell over the internet. It was a big deal back in 2001.
That's amazing. And you are a major advocate for physical and mental conditioning. How does your commitment to personal discipline and fitness translate directly into your success?
That's a great question. I know you are as well, right? Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, I think we're, not to go on a little soapbox here, but I think we're all poisoning ourselves with the food we eat, right? It's pretty bad. And I think the only way to keep mentally, physically going and to succeed, don't you have to work out? I think you do.
Yeah.
Don't you have to try to eat as good as you possibly can? I think it only helps because do you leave the office at 5:00 every day?
And it depends sometimes.
Okay, maybe you do. I guess my point was,
yeah.
if you're going to work late and you got a lot of stuff to do, or you got to travel and you're in and out of airports, you can't be a mess, right? I think it actually, so to succeed, I think you absolutely need to be an athlete of some kind.
I also think the mornings are sacred. That's how I am. If I haven't worked out, I will work out after work, but that is not ideal for me. I feel like the morning is the time really set your intention for the day. Do you think that makes you a better leader within your organization?
For me, yeah, because it is my stress relief. If I didn't, I'd probably be just a mean, nasty curmudgeon, and no one wants that. So I think it's also start your day with stress relief. It works great. You said set the intention for the day. There's no better way to do it.
You obviously have a very diverse background, probably different than some of your peers. What advantages does this operationally and business central perspective give you in the industry?
I didn't just start in cybersecurity, right? But it's technology. I think if you're a technologist and you understand business, no matter if you're creating a website company, the second company that I was involved in was creating a virtual digital mortgage product. And I know nothing about mortgage except how to write a check every month. And then into cybersecurity. At the end of the day, it's technology and how to use technology to solve a business problem. Not that you're a cyber master, not that you're a mortgage master or anything like that. But if you can use tech to solve a business challenge, that is where I think it kind of spans whatever the specialty may be.
I do want to talk about AgileBlue. In 2019, you and Joe Marquette co-founded it.
Yeah.
You've set out to redefine security operations with an autonomous, all-in-one platform that detects, investigates, and makes critical decisions to shut down cyber threats. Walk us through why you wanted to build this company.
You can tell you're a marketing person because that was well done. Yeah, I think you hit that
Thank you.
brand promise better than we do.
Use that in your marketing materials.
Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, I like this little sales pitch too. That's exactly why. In our industry, which is called security operations, it's always been very human-centric. Lots of humans doing lots of things. Well, in this world of machine learning and now AI, you can't keep up with the machines, right? So we needed to develop, we thought we could really have a good part in the market by developing an autonomous application that did what those humans did to stay ahead of the AI and do that biggest thing, which is autonomous response, maybe shutting down a cyber attack before someone's compromised. So that was the vision, and that's why we started the company.
And your focus is on mid-market companies, correct?
Mid-market and government. We do about 38% of our business is state, local governments.
Why these sectors specifically?
A main reason. They generally can't build their own security operations team that's 24/7 that can do that, right? They don't have the budgets or maybe just don't have the expertise. So that's where we really focus, that mid-market, small enterprise, state, local government. Not trying to get in the federal government. Oh my God, they got their own challenges, but not trying to go enterprise because they generally build their own teams.
Amazing. You've achieved some incredible milestones recently, including a major strategic growth investment from HIG Growth Partners. And even more recently, you were named to Inc. 2026 Best Workplaces list. How do you balance the rapid, high-pressure scaling of a global security business with maintaining a company culture where employees genuinely love to show up?
Man, we just had our monthly all-company meeting. We call it the Our Company because it's our company. And we talked about that. No matter if things are good or bad, no matter what's going on, if you stay true to those core values and that culture of your company, I think an organization can get through everything. That is so important. So you mentioned the Inc. thing. Look, people apply for awards, you win them, you lose them, whatever. You get these little plaques. But that one is so important because each employee takes an anonymous survey and says, I either like this place or I don't. Here's what I like about it or I don't. And it's very, I think out of all of them, it is actually taking the true pulse of each individual person. That one is most important to us. That's great. HIG is a fantastic partner. We're very lucky to have a partner like them investing in us for our growth. But every time somebody says, we want to work at this place, that makes you feel really good because you're creating a spot that people are going to spend a lot of time at. And hopefully they leave feel very rewarding. It's not just a paycheck. They know they're building something they want to be part of.
Oh, that's amazing. I also think of you as a thought leader. Would you agree with that?
No, come on. Why would I do that to myself?
I think so. And you're quite active on LinkedIn. And
Yes.
you talked about your 5-yard line rule. Can you share a little bit more about what that means?
So I'm a big sport guy, and I love the Cleveland Browns, but I also hate the Cleveland Browns at the same time because they don't win for me. But I always put it to football analogy. You do all this good stuff, you get to the 5-yard line, and you fumble, or you got to kick the field goal, or it just doesn't work out. People work so hard, but they don't always get it into the end zone. And I think in anything in life, the Navy SEALs have that component. It's like they believe people give 60% of themselves. They don't get to 100% of what they're capable of, right? Mm-hmm. I think the same thing in business. I think you advance, and you kind of peter out a little bit, and things just kind of like flame out. Get it into the end zone. And now that's a boat that lifts everything. And that is so important, I think, not only to business, but also personal for everybody that's part of our company. So yeah, that stupid saying is get to the 5-yard line. More importantly, push it through. Get it into the end zone, score that touchdown, and now you got a tremendous thing for everybody.
I feel like right now, we're almost in an AI versus AI arms race. Would you agree?
It's all we hear is AI.
Yeah. Can you give us a little overview of the state of the industry as of today?
I think it's wild. Look, we all use AI in some way. I don't think AI is coming for everybody's job. It's coming for some jobs, but hopefully that makes everybody more critical thinking and doing bigger and better things. Mm-hmm. I don't think AI kills jobs. I think it takes a team of 5 or 10 or whatever your company is and makes them probably triple that, right? I do think you see that. I was at Reindustrialize last week up in Detroit, and you have advanced manufacturers, you have defense manufacturers, you have drone companies. I saw this robotic dog running around welding stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Freaked me out a little bit. My dog doesn't weld, but their dog welds. So I guess that's a unique dog. I guess the point is I think it's moving at such a rapid pace. I don't think anybody knows what it's going to do. I just think we are harnessing how to use it now, how to make our companies a little bit better. And I think over the course of the next few years, we'll all probably see how this is going to play out together.
What are some of the biggest threats? I know you've talked about the Mythos class of agentic AI models.
Mythos is definitely, I think, a huge threat from Anthropic. Obviously, Anthropic has their fight with the government right now when Fable or Mythos is going to drop. Mythos has the ability to find vulnerabilities, Ashtyn, that have been out there in everybody's networks for years. But it takes a human hacker with the tools we had maybe a couple years, maybe a couple months to find these vulnerabilities. Mythos might be able to do it in a couple days or a couple weeks. And that's kind of scary because now we got to work extra diligently to make sure we're protecting our clients on something that's moving at such a fast pace.
Oh, yeah. And I think what's hard for people that maybe aren't in the weeds as much as you is understanding how these agents really work.
Yeah.
So,
wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Being in the marketing world, how do you see AI? Because the AI can now create pictures and videos and voiceovers. How do you see it affecting your business? Because you guys are extraordinarily creative.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because we are a pro AI organization in the sense that we've adopted it to be more efficient for ourselves and our clients, but we also are acutely aware of where consumers are at. We actually just talked about this today in one of our meetings that people are almost burnt out of AI, or they feel like they don't want it to be pushed on them in so many ways. And some people are adamantly against it. So we have to toe that line. We use it in a way that still is authentic to ourselves and the clients, but at the same time, we're able to do more than we ever have been. So it's been interesting, especially too, I think, the role of agents moving forward. And for you, obviously, you have your AI native agent. And I'd be curious if you could break down some of the architectural differences between what you're building and then some of these agents where you need to be a bit more concerned about.
Yeah, that's a great point. And people install agents all day long. How many times you log into Zoom and all of a sudden there's 9 note takers and agents running before anybody else human shows up to that meeting? I think the key point of an agent is, especially for AgileBlue, for us, it's not just to detect something, it's to make that decision. So you think about this, you're crunching tons of data in seconds or milliseconds. And for a human might need minutes or maybe tens of minutes to figure it out and make a decision. And sometimes humans move a little bit slower. Sometimes humans are biased, right? In cybersecurity, it's a little bit more binary. Is it malicious or not? If that agent can crunch a whole bunch of data in seconds and make a decision with a high degree of confidence, it gives us the ability to protect our clients so much better. And that's the type of agents we develop. There's agents for everything. There's agents that write code. There's agents that monitor this, do that. We're very focused on security. So that's where we are spending all of our time and investment dollars. But I think there's going to be an agent for everything. And here's the thing. I don't think it could be a general agent. I think agents are going to need to be very specialized in what they do to be effective. And we'll see how people utilize that. You can't just let an agent go and run your business. I think there's going to be one for finance and legal and some stuff for marketing, maybe even marketing broken down by lead gen, content. More specialty, I think the more successful the agents will be.
Oh, I completely agree. You launched earlier this spring Shadow AI monitoring. So what exactly is this, and how are employees copy pasting code or proprietary data into unapproved AI tools, creating some massive new risks in sectors for businesses today?
Yeah. Think about it. People can paste anything into any GPT, whether it's Claude or OpenAI or Gemini, whatever it might be, because they want to make their jobs easier. They want to use the AI, but they're putting in such proprietary data. So number one, companies need to approve what GPT they're using. Maybe everybody's using Claude. Great. What can go into Claude? And where's that data need to be scrubbed, redacted, anonymized before it goes in there? Is anybody doing that? Number one. Number two, how many people are just installing things on their phones, on the networks, on their computers, on servers? You don't even know what you're installing.
No.
Especially if it's open source. How do you know that's not spying on you or about to be a cyber attack on you? Shadow AI is growing at such a rapid pace. We need to protect our clients from their own people. And their own people aren't being malicious. They're just being a little negligent. Yeah, it's just negligence, right? They're not trained on it. They're trying to make their jobs easier, trying to do more work. So that's what we're trying to do, is let them know what's happening with all these AI agents on their networks.
Oh, I think that's key because no one's doing it with ill intent, but it can pose real problems.
Totally.
This episode is brought to you by TRGT. The people listening to this show are executives, operators, and strategists. And if you're anything like us, operating at 100% isn't optional. It's the baseline. So here's the problem. Most of what we reach for to stay focused leaves us jittery or crashing. Coffees, energy drinks, other vices. TRGT is tackling this head-on with a supplement line purpose-built for long meetings, travel days, and back-to-back strategy sessions. If you've ever used or heard of Zins, those little pouches that took the nicotine industry by storm, TRGT's focus pouches use the same convenient delivery method, without all the junk. They load up their pouches with functional ingredients designed to support clean focus and sustained energy so that you can lock in without the crash out. And the focus pouch is just the start. TRGT has a full system including hydration, recovery, and sleep formulas so that you can maximize your entire day, not just your work day. Our team is hooked, and we think you will be too. If you want to perform smarter, head to taketrgt.com.
Marketing in cybersecurity has historically relied on fear, uncertainty, and doubt to scare executives into buying. But your company has taken a completely different path, focusing on transparent, educational, and organic brand building. Were you put off by some of the fear-mongering, and is that why you really wanted to pivot with your marketing efforts?
I think that is such a great question. Totally. Who wants to be like scared of what they have? And then, by the way, these poor people who go to work who are CISOs or in security, if something happens, they just lose their job so they can just live in a perpetual state of fear. That's awful. I think it's more about, like you said, it's about educating them. It's about showing them what can help their job. Hopefully it's also a little bit of improvement to their life and their professionalism, that they're just not wondering what's going on all day, every day. Are they going to be hacked? Are they going to lose their jobs? Is it going to be up all night doing this? Who wants that, right? And as a marketer, do you think you see people being successful, whether it's in cyber or something else, by bringing fear, uncertainty, and doubt into campaigns?
I don't think we would never recommend that. Obviously, you want to lead with the information, of course. There is fear around what would happen if you're not secure, but we don't want someone to pull the trigger on a purchase because they're terrified of the result. You want to be there as a partner to educate them and be like, we are the solution for you, without making them feel like, oh my gosh, we have to do this right now. And then they regret it X number of months later.
Totally. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
How long would you say your typical sales cycle is?
In the mid-market, it's generally going to be about a quarter, about 90 days. I think lately you've probably seen a little bit of an extension of the sales cycle. Not much, maybe 5-10% tops. Enterprise is a lot longer. It's why we love the middle market game.
How would you say then you've reflected your marketing strategy to keep that 90-day window in mind? Do you have educational flows? Do you have paid ads? What's a typical marketing strategy? Everything.
So the head of our marketing, Jillian, I think she has a tough job, right? It's a noisy market. It's a market where people have a lot of money and spend a lot of money. So you can't just do lead gen. You got to be creative. You got to do podcasts. For whatever you think about podcasts, you got to do podcasts. Yeah. You got to do lead gen. Now you got to do this GEO or AEO, whatever it's called, so the GPTs find you, right? You still got to go to events. You still got to put up banners in certain spots. And yeah, you got to buy swag too. You got to do all this stuff. So I don't envy the job of a marketer or a marketing agency, because I guess a good question for you would be, how do you cut through all that noise?
It's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah, because ultimately you can pull from, oh, this worked for me, but you have to know who your customer is. And your strategy obviously has to pull from the same foundational marketing elements that are tried and true. But at the same time, you have to do what's right for you. And sometimes that strategy looks wildly different than your competitor.
Totally. And competitors could have deeper pockets too. Yeah. So like, how do you compare yourself?
Oh yeah, especially if you're like, oh, they're running paid media ads. Their budgets might be able to keep up with the CPC. So is that something that you guys have prioritized, anything with paid media, or is it more the organic earned and owned channels?
I think it's the latter, definitely. Although we do have paid stuff, but like, how do you keep up with guys who could be on Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah, you can't.
You just can't. So you got to be smart. You got to be stealthy, and where we see the biggest bang for the buck. Local events, actually still getting out in front of people, shaking hands, like no Zoom. And those things go a long way. The problem is not everybody still comes out to these events, right?
Yeah, I think it's knowing your audience, but there's a lot of mid-market companies here in Cleveland.
By the way, think about that.
Yeah.
Meeting at GCP, things like that. Don't you think that's better?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm an older person. You're a much younger person. But don't you think that interaction and getting to shake hands and talk to people is a great thing?
100%. I'm very much old school in the sense that I would rather meet you in person than just shooting you a cold DM. You know what I mean? I think it goes a long way, because it's great how we can connect virtually, online, via text, but the tone isn't there. And we had a great introduction and we've had great conversations. And I think that's what we need to try to replicate more often.
Amen. You can end it there. That is perfect. But still, there's hesitation for people to do that these days. It's wild.
Because the ROI, it's hard because if I go spend 5 hours at this event, how do I know something's going to come from it? That's the risk you take. But the thing is, the more events you go to, the more people are like, oh yeah, you work for Vivid Front. And like, it starts to just come up and be like, oh, you should meet. And it's just a natural chain of events.
Yeah. Until I met you at those events, even though Vivid is obviously a magnificent company, I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah.
And that's sad. We're all Cleveland companies. We just got to do a better job.
Yeah, that's how we cut through the noise.
I like it. I like it. Very nice.
Would you say you're probably the most prevalent figure in your company in terms of, are you the one boots on the ground going to these events, or do you have other team members out and about in the community as well?
We have a large sales team, so they're out and about too. Of course, I like to do events. I like meeting people like you do. I like doing things like this. So I think they help our brand. But yeah, we got a ton of capable people at AgileBlue, and nobody just wants to hear me all the time. They want smarter, better looking people to be on the circuit as well. Trust me, more knowledgeable.
How does your podcast play a role?
Oh, God. I need to take lessons from you. Your setup, the way you handle it is fantastic. Joe and I, my co-founder, we tag team our podcast, and we are amateurs. But it's just one of the methods to talk to smart people in our industry. And like you said, hopefully it helps the marketing
I also think, too, it becomes a content engine. Like we were talking about, discoverability is everything. And you need to have more content, whether it's video, but also, too, then you can take that podcast content, turn it into a blog post, and then do whatever you need to do for an SEO perspective to help be discovered. It's just a content engine that I think people are like, oh yeah, you have a podcast. But I think the goal, your goal isn't to be the number one podcast.
Not to be Joe Rogan here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you have a very distinct marketing and content play for it.
I think by the way you set your stuff up, I think you guys do a great job. So congratulations on that. It is not, I do a ton of podcasts. I'm doing an Ohio State one a little bit later today for an alumni thing. I got to tell you though, out of everything I've seen, you guys do a great job.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I love to hear that. I love a nice little hype up. But I want to keep hyping up you and AgileBlue. Okay. So obviously with you, relationships are everything, because I feel like in your industry, trust is everything. So how do you marry the AI element of your work with the people side of things?
Yep. So we are a platform company that creates an AI product. But at the end of the day, we are still a 24/7 team of engineers. So whether something goes down at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., there is a human element to everything we do. So if our clients are, let's say there's a cyber event, there's a cyber attack, they're not just talking to an AI or hoping the AI is doing it and waiting for our company to get in at 800. Yeah. There's people 24/7 to walk them through. Here's what's happening. Here's what we're doing. You're all right. We're here with you. That is so important in cybersecurity. But I feel too much is going towards, hey, we're all AI, we're all AI, we're all AI. That only goes so far. Humans, when something's going down, that's not so good. And in our industry, if something's going down, it's not so good, they want to talk to humans.
I know how annoyed I was when I think my battery died in my car, so I called AAA. I didn't get to talk to a person. I talked to an automated robot, and I was so angry. And that was for a car battery. Right. It was stuck in my parking garage of my apartment. I was safe. I was fine. I could not imagine if I had a huge cybersecurity attack and I could not get a hold of a human and I was just talking to an AI agent. I would be fuming.
You'd be fuming. And again, I think today, AI plus a human is a beautiful thing. It can't just be AI, and it just can't be human, because humans just can't go fast enough. So that's a great point.
Would you say, though, that your human-centric element is a unique differentiator compared to some of the other players in this space?
I think it is. There's others that do have that as well. But I think we're the type of size that we know our customers, right? We have about 550 some customers, whatever we have at this point. We know our customers. We're still a little bit more intimate of a company. If you're thousands and thousands, I think you lose that element. And I think when something's going down not so good, you definitely want to not only have a rapport, but you want them to know what you're going through. You want them to know what their company looks like to help them.
What is your ultimate goal for the company?
Look, at the end of the day, I said this with all three companies that I've been part of. You just want to build a great company. You want to build a great company that not only you want to spend a bazillion hours at, but it's rewarding for your team. They're able to grow as professionally. They're able to support their families. If you do that, you're building a great company, whatever happens. If you lose track of that, it's not a great company. I don't think good things happen then, right? So as long as you focus on building a great company, whether you build it for the next 30 years or somebody finds it very valuable and comes on in, whatever it is, if you just work on building a great company around core values, I do think things all work out.
My final question, a heavy one. What is the one thing you want business leaders and operators to take away from today's conversation about how to confidently lead their organizations through this AI-driven threat landscape rather than running away from it.
I would definitely, if you're talking specific cybersecurity, I think it is just about can't have everything siloed. You have to monitor everything. There's so much going on. You have to monitor everything because one little attack vector is probably the way that you're going to go down if you're not monitoring it. I think overall, though, I would say to anyone listening to this podcast, in your business or in your day, in your job, when you have conviction of something, go big. Either bet big or go big because you might never have that conviction again. This might be your best idea, your best company. Maybe this is your best opportunity. Always take advantage of that.
Great advice. Are you ready for the hot seat?
Oh, I thought this was.
A lot of people have been telling me that. I'm like, oh no, am I grilling you too
Wow.
much?
All right. Let's go. It's like a congressional hearing here. Yeah.
I know. I promise it's fun.
I like it.
A local Northeast Ohio builder or startup we should all be paying attention to.
Really good question. I don't think I would signal anybody out. I would say pay attention to what's going on at Case ThinkBox. Mm-hmm. Some of the young talent and ideas coming out of there are just killing, whether it's on the biomedical field, the AI field. Watch what's coming out of there. There's a lot of great ideas.
Favorite thing about GCP?
Oh, man, the community, the people. It is literally a people-centric organization. And if you can take advantage of it, get part of it. No doubt.
Agreed. Favorite workout routine or spot to sweat in Northeast Ohio?
Workout in the morning, A. Workout with weights, B. Best spot, Powerhouse Gym in Brea, Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
It's hardcore. My cousin owns it.
Oh, no way. I
My
used
daughter
to go
works
there when
there.
I lived in Brea.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went to BW.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So you know Joe Mazzone? That's my cousin.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No way.
That's my guy.
Small world.
1 degree of separation in Cleveland, Ohio.
Quite literally. Favorite Cleveland restaurant?
Maxie's Little Italy. Come on.
Oh, man. I got to go. Favorite Cleveland coffee shop?
A little bit of a cheat on this one, but I'm going to go with Juneberry. It's not just a coffee shop, but every coffee shop has food now, so there's no coffee shop. But their coffee's fantastic.
Oh, agreed.
It's great.
Thank you for an incredible conversation today. Where can people find out more about AgileBlue and connect with you directly?
AgileBlue.com, super simple, or LinkedIn, Tony Pietrocola, but good luck spelling that, but you'll find me.
We'll leave it in the show notes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tony.
for having me.
Of course.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Now it's time to start making moves. Head to vividfront.com/marketing moves for exclusive marketing materials. Every episode, we add more of our greatest insider secrets to help you move towards success. See you next time.